What is up, Square Nation? Welcome back to No Counters, No Combos, and today we're coming at you from the Mobile Command Center, bringing you another deck profile. This is the Gogeta Storm deck that we used in our recent Battle Chamber video. I was able to take first place at a local event at Level 1 Games. Shout out to Level 1 Games. So I know it's like a few days before the ban list, but I figured I'd give Storm one last hurrah and like just play it one last time before I wasn't able to play Go-10s or anything else, in the future. So I did choose the movie Gogeta promo leader, Miraculous Strike Gogeta. So basically, the reason behind me choosing the leader is because I don't like Hirudegarn personally, and I've played Trunks enough to know that Trunks is good. And I'm not really sold on Krillin just yet. I've honestly never even played with Krillin. So I wanted to try Gogeta because I know that there was a lot of representation for Gogeta at the Atlantic City PPG Pro Play Tour event. So I kind of wanted to just try and see what the fuss was. And it was actually really good. On the front side, Gogeta is like the Broly leader from the promo, the movie promo. You once you attack, you can take a life and then draw a card. So it has some self-awakening built in. And then when you awaken, you flip over, you untap one, and you draw one. And the untap one's actually pretty good when it comes to Storm because there are times when you're not committing 2 energy per turn. You're just only recycling that 1 energy constantly over and over and over. So untapping that energy does allow you for some pretty smooth play extension, which is really, really good. So... And obviously, it's a blue leader, so you can use all the broken cards, which obviously we did. So on the back side, it has a cute little activate main where you can crit yourself a life, and then you negate all of your opponent's battle card skills for the duration of the turn. So it kind of blankets their skills, but then you can only play Union Fusion for the rest of the turn, which doesn't really come up that often. I didn't use the effect at all during the tournament. I never felt like I needed to use it, and I didn't feel like I had the appropriate situation for that effect. So I just kind of benefit from all the card draw and it being a blue leader. So let's get right into the deck profile. We're starting off with 2 Cronoa. I hate Shugesh, and I'm scared of it, so I play Cronoa main board because sometimes people sneak in Shugeshes, and being able to turn off a Shugesh is really, really good. I didn't come across any yellow leaders in the tournament. My matchups were Pilaf Wish, Mono Blue Bardock's Crew, and in the finals was Announcer, so I didn't really come across any Shugesh leaders, but hey, better safe than sorry. And then we're playing 2 Awakened Warrior Bardock. So with the Gogeta leader, you do have the restriction that you cannot include battle cards in your deck that cost more than 5. So you can't play Fu, you can't play Mira, so you have to kind of get creative with your overwhelm threats. Obviously, I have the 2 Mysterious Warrior Mass Saiyans because that card is just busted. But I'm also playing the 2 Awakened Warrior Bardock because it's cheap overwhelm it's free. You only have to have 4 in the drop, and it's a 20k double striker, so it does put in some decent amount of work, and I was able to win my final matchup with this card. So it did do a lot of work, and it's not a bad card. Cheap overwhelm with 20k double strike is never bad, and just you kind of have to get creative because of the lack of higher drops in this deck. Obviously, we already talked about the Mysterious Warrior Mass Saiyan. Again, this is the top of your curve, and it's a good answer to Veggies, and it's a double striker, so why not? Then we have, the blue stuff. 4 Senzu Beans. Standard card. Senzu Bean is so good offensively and defensively. I did have to play around a couple Borgoses in the tournament because my teammate Brian was playing Bardock's Crew. So it was a little uncomfortable playing around it. But I was able to, just play around it so that my energy didn't get killed and then kind of just save my beans and my unyieldings for later turns. Borgos is very uncomfortable to play around because this deck doesn't really have removal except for Mass Saiyan. It is easy to feel the drop area to overwhelm, but you want to make sure you get enough value off of it, so it can get a little tricky because you don't want to get blown out by a Borgos, which is possible. Then I'm playing 2 Soul Punishers. So obviously I'm playing a Gogeta leader. Soul Punisher is not a bad card. It's an activate battle. Tap 1 blue energy, and then you give your leader plus 15k in critical. So you can just kind of sneak in a win with this card, but it's also your best source of blue energy in the deck because you don't need it early game. You obviously just want to play it late game, and you see your deck so much that if you really want to play it off for a win, you can do it at the end of the game. So getting this card early is great for a blue charge because it turns on your Senzu Beans like as soon as possible. Then we have 4 Unyielding. You know, it's kind of the last opportunity I'm going to get to play this card. I've always loved this card. I used to play Trunks in Set 2 format when this card first came out, and it was one of my favorite cards in the deck. So I'm sad to see it go. I am a little biased, but I understand why Bandai did what they did. You know, untapping energy, you know, for free is kind of ridiculous. So even the silver bullets are not enough to to stop it. So I understand why it's going. I am going to miss you, Trunks, but you know, you're going off to a better place, I guess. Then we have 4 Supreme Kai, 4 North Kai super combos. You get to 4 life in this deck so quickly that it just makes so much sense to play this super combo instead of the sparking one. It's just, for me, it's just better. Then we have 2 of E Supreme Kai for double strike. Obvious reasons. Tap 1, double strike. It's kind of like your win con. You know, to give anything double strike. We do have a couple double strikers in the deck. We have the Bardock, the 2 Mass Saiyan, and then we have our Will of Iron. But you know, putting double strike Supreme Kai on your leader with a Soul Punisher is pretty insane. Next, we have 2 Successor of Hope, obviously for searching your Bardocks or your Grandpa Gohans. Even your 2-drop Gokus, your swap Gokus, you can search them as well, which is a pretty viable search target at this point. And I don't play more than 2 because I feel like it gets kind of clunky. It does become pretty good yellow energy later on in the game when you have to charge a yellow source, so it's not too bad. 2 Grandpa Gohans for your obvious swap plays that don't take life. And then 4 Bardock the Progenitor. It's still a really good engine starter. It sneaks in for damage early. It takes a life, gets you close to your awakening state. And it does swap in your guys for free. Then I teched in 2 of Frieza Biding Its Time. It's a really good card to just answer the Goku striving to be the best, because that card is a huge problem when you're playing Storm. I did run into it, I believe, once against Brian, because he was using it in his Bardock's crew build. But it's just a decent card. You know, you could tap down the Borgos as well and run it over. Tap down the Striving and run it over, because it does ignore barrier. So, you know, that's one of the reasons why I ran it. And then worst case scenario, if I need to charge it, it's yellow energy. It's not that bad. 2 Nimbus, obvious reasons. You're not playing too much defense in this deck, but you know, later games, sometimes Nimbus does come in clutch, and it did in the tournament. 2 Battering for your, it's basically you just win when you play Battering. If they try to negate a double striker, you just Battering and then you just go off. And then 2 Planet Vegeta. So I play Planet Vegeta in this deck specifically because I play Iron Will Bardock, but it does search, like, I would say maybe 60% of your deck, because you can search your Overwhelm Bardock. It's a 4 or less Saiyan. There's no color restriction. It just has to be 4 or less. So that's why I run Planet Vegeta, and it does have some synergy with the Ape being able to restand it to use it as a blocker. Then we have 4 of the 2-drop Gokus from Goku's lineage, which is just kind of your new swap target now that Goten is gone. You know, putting this guy on the board for 15k is pretty insane. He does sneak in for a lot of damage. You know, he does threaten awakened leaders, which is important. Something that Goten never could really do. And then we have 2 Carrying Mother Videl. It's just another thing that you can swap in off of your Bardocks or your Grandpa Gohans. It's going to give you another card draw. I definitely see this card getting more play now that Goten is gone. Goten does look at top 3, and it does have 10k, so it can put some work in offensively. But essentially, you're getting 1 card. So Videl is because you have to tap it to draw. But you do give something 5k, so you can make your Bardocks 15 if you really need to, or you can make your Gokus 20. But I think if you were trying to still resurrect Storm, this would be a natural replacement for Goten. And then, of course, we have 4 of the young boy himself, Scrambling Assault Son Goten. We're going to miss you, buddy, but you had to go because you're too good. Self-explanatory, attack, look at top 3, add a card, put the rest at the bottom. It's been such a potent, effective card with the Storm variants. It's basically gone now, and it's going to cripple the deck. And the Storm is definitely going to slowly whittle its way out of the competitive scene. And then the last card we play is 2 Bardock Will of Iron. So the reason I play him is just to have an evolution target for my progenitor. You know, it's nice to play Bardock, put yourself at 4 life, and then attack with your leader, or like awaken, attack with your leader, combo the ape onto it to evolve. It gives you a cheap double striker for 1 energy. And if you have Planet Vegeta on board, he will restand and become a blocker. There's no barrier, of course, but having a 20k blocker on board, if your opponent's not playing main board removal, is really, really strong. So it's just one of those things, especially because you have the restriction of not being able to play anything higher than a 5-drop. So like I said earlier, you have to get creative with the cards you're going to play in the deck. So that's pretty much it. I mean, the deck was pretty fun. Even though Storm is degenerate, it was pretty fun playing it with the Gogeta leader because there's a lot of things that you can do. You know, playing Soul Punisher is kind of cute. We just kind of wanted to give it one last shot, you know, before it just completely disappears on us. If you guys want to try it before Friday, by all means, take the build, try it yourself, you know. But moving forward, I can honestly say rest in peace, Storm. It was fun while it lasted, even though it was probably too strong. We're definitely going to have a lot of fun seeing the new innovative decks and strategies that people try to take or try to adapt to their playstyles moving forward with Clash of Fates, and then with the eventual release of Set 6. Thank you guys so much for watching. Don't forget to like, share, comment, subscribe. Leave a comment section down below. Tell me what you think about the deck, if there's some changes you would make, and let me know if there's anything else you guys would like to see on this channel in the future. Thank you so much, and we'll see you in the next video. Be there or be squared.